America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him,
We're losing our democracy!
more inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Wake up!
Before we get into that, let's get into this.
All right, we should be live. How's it going, man? Happy Friday.
Going happy Friday, brother. Going damn good. How about yourself?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. You guys get some good rain up there today?
No, it's all around us, man. They were watching the light show in the mountains. You know, it's pouring up there, real dark, windy, but never got any rain, man.
Yep. Yeah, we got quite a bit actually. It poured pretty damn good down here. But
Yeah,
yeah, it fucking like hailed yesterday down here, I guess.
hot and humid up here, bro. Felt like it was gonna rain, but never came, man.
Yeah.
Sad times, dude. Still 105.
Fucking way she goes, man. Well, today we're going to be talking about, quite a bit stuff. Pretty much focusing on our two-tier justice system and our completely corrupt DOJ, and pretty much all the shit going on with the Biden donors and whatnot, and how they get their whole fucking two-tier fucking double standards justice. But all right, actually, we could pretty much sum it up in this one tweet if my page will load up. But either way, we're going to be talking about the Sam Bankman-Fried gets pretty much the majority of his charges dropped. I think they dropped 6 of the 13 charges against him, mainly pertaining to campaign finance and stuff like that. Being as he basically fucking defrauded a whole bunch of fucking people out of crypto and donated it to the Democrat Party, and now the fucking Democrat Party is basically like, oh, don't worry, we'll let you slide on that one. You're okay. But all right, let's see. Pull up my page right here. This one tweet pretty much just kind of puts it all into perspectives. If I could ever actually get to my damn page. Fucking Harry Sisson. Dude, that fucking I'm sure you've seen that fucking kid all around the fucking the super Biden fucking Gen Z millennial fucking Democrat dude.
I saw clips with people talking shit, but I've never actually seen his actual tweets or anything.
There's no way that this kid could have that actual mentality. Like just all the shit he says. It sounds like he may as well be on The View or on MSNBC or something like that. It's all just straight out of fucking out of the DNC fucking playbook. Everything it says. But
He's hand in hand with those Swalwell, dude. Yeah, I mean that the shit that guy tweets is some of the most ludicrous shit I've ever read, and like pertaining to this stuff. He's like, Hunter's trying to make amends and take responsibilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I guess what he's talking about right now is I guess fucking Justice Alito put out a opinion piece in the Wall Street Journal pertaining to basically saying that I know it's an unpopular opinion, but Congress does not have the Constitution does not give Congress any sort of power over fucking the Supreme Court, because basically the congressional fucking the congressional fucking ethics committee or something along those lines are basically trying to force the Supreme Court to write up a ethics fucking conduct for the Supreme Court. Basically a fucking group in the House, I forget the fucking name for them right now, but in the House right now they're trying to basically force the Supreme Court to have a sort of code of ethics, as pertaining to them. So basically, they're basically trying to impose their power on the Supreme Court justices, and basically trying to hold them to basically trying to hold them underneath the thumb of fucking Congress and shit. which
Yeah,
is
I just read where they're trying to subpoena the phone records, personal phone records of these justices, in their correspondence with friends and family and whatnot. Man. I mean, they're absolutely trying to find reasons to trip them up, and of course, it's all it's because it's MAGA's extremesies. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. It's everything going on in America right now. It's complete uh shameless fucking weaponization of it's I'm pretty sure it's just going around on all fucking sides too. Everybody's getting fucking investigated. Which at the same time, good. Everybody's getting fucking investigated, but at the same time, it's not because they want to get rid of corruption. It's all political. It's all political investigations. It's all politically driven. And none of this is based off of like, oh, we need to get the corruption out of here. Like, no, we're trying to fucking hold everybody accountable to the same standard. Like, clearly they're not. It's you'd like to see politicians getting investigated and shit like that, or their close family members or their crime family fucking ties and shit. But at the same time, like I said, it's all just fucking just political. It's nothing to do with justice whatsoever.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't see it working both ways. I mean, it's even during Trump, a lot of the people that were in control of the DOJ are still there, man. Besides, Garland himself, obviously, and and that reverts back to the Sam Bankman-Fried. I mean, obviously, they're reducing these charges and dropping charges. You were under the excuse of they didn't ask the permission of the government of the Bahamas before bringing these charges, before they extradited them, but they've already extradited him. So none of that even fucking matters.
Right.
But it's because he's the Democrats' second largest donor behind only Soros. And then the shit that is being investigated, it could very well bring him into the fold for the simple fact that he was laundering all this taxpayer funds through Ukraine's and then, turning around and bringing it right back to the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's part of a larger investigation. And while I do agree it is political in scope, it kind of is getting rid of some corruption if they can actually do something with the situation. But I mean, we're talking the highest of the high, Joe Biden's and whatnot. No one's going to jail.
Yeah. All just putting on a show.
Yeah, political theater.
Yeah, but I think this. So I completely butchered up the beginning. I was supposed to start out with this Charlie Kirk tweet, but I didn't have it pulled up because I was completely unprepared. I was actually trying to get the thumbnail set up before the live stream, but I was gonna start out with this tweet from Charlie Kirk that pretty much just sums up everything that's going on this week in the world of news and politics. Right? So he tweets. So let me get this straight. The DOJ tried to pull a fast one and immunize Hunter Biden from future criminal investigations via an unprecedented plea deal. The DOJ has dismissed 6 of the 13 charges against Democrat superdonor and fraudster Sam Bankman-Fried. The DOJ let Hillary Clinton off scot-free despite deleting 40,000 subpoenaed emails. But the DOJ targets moms, Catholics, and pro-life activists. The DOJ has arrested 1,000 plus J6 protesters, including grandmas who took selfies in the Capitol. The DOJ wants to put Biden's chief political rival in jail for 200 plus years over a documents dispute. And now Jack Smith has added 3 new charges against Trump and even charged his maintenance man. Equal justice. That basically about sums up what we're going to be talking about in this episode today.
Yeah. And it's hilarious. Equal justice. I mean, that's I mean, even with the Hillary Clinton thing, right? They're like, okay, you destroyed 40,000 emails, broke fucking Blackberries with a hammer. Okay, we're not going to charge you. With Trump, they're saying he attempted to wipe servers. You know what I mean? And they are charging him. But in the Presidential Records Act, there is no criminal aspect.
Well, aren't they trying to say that he was showing them to people and shit like that? Like in that whole audio tape. Of course, it's conveniently just audio. Literally
that's what I was going to say.
Does not actually show or prove anything or prove that he was actually showing any documents to anyone of any of consequence at all, or just anyone in general. I mean, like I said, he was talking about fucking General Mike Milley trying to fucking make them go, or trying to fucking have them go invade, what is it, Iran or Iraq or one of the fucking Middle Eastern fucking I guess Russian puppet fucking states or whatever, and basically All he was saying is, this document would have proved it and stuff, but I didn't declassify it. I had the power to, but I didn't do it. And then basically they're trying to say that he's literally showing them a document, like, they're gonna have time to fucking read that fucking fine print fucking document in that while he's just waving it at him and be able to know that it's the details and stuff. They just General Mike Milley trying to fucking get them to go fucking invade Iraq and stuff. But of course,
It was Iran, and
right.
dude, and also he's saying that he was waving around basically newspaper clippings that were in reference to the leak of Milley out here saying that Trump wanted to attack Iran. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and like you said, it's conveniently only audio. I mean, I don't believe they have a strong enough case. It's one of the reasons they're bringing this. But the timing was one, Friday, everything's a dead news cycle. So they dropped it on a Thursday. Two, 24 hours after the whole Hunter Biden's debacle.
Yep. That can do it. Don't forget aliens too. Aliens.
Right.
Totally serial, guys. We're aliens this time. Definitely not a distraction. Definitely has nothing to do with all the fucking bullshit going through with Hunter's plea deal falling through and all that, right?
Yeah, and what's crazy is Dan Bongino called the shit. It was one of the flaggots, and he flat out said there'll be some new charge that comes out, in conjunction with current investigations or January 6th with Trump, and to distract from the Biden situation. So it literally called it, man, and replayed it. It was yesterday for the flaggot.
All right. Well, if you guys have anything loaded up, you have anything ready to go, if you guys have a dab ready to go, anything like that, go ahead and smoke up with us, and then we're gonna actually get into a bit of some organization to this show. We pretty much just been doing a 10-minute intro now, but here we go. Okay, so, that was a good one. All right, so again, Sam Bankman-Fried has basically had more or less all of the charges dropped against him. Many of the charges that are actually really of any sort of consequence, anything that would actually, get him any sort of jail time, anything like that.
They still got wire and security frauds.
Yeah.
So I mean, those can carry some shit, but that doesn't mean they're not going to be pled down, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, and of course, fucking clearly the entire fucking Department of Justice is got just a slight bias to them. You picking that up? Maybe they have a little bit of a bias to them when it comes to the political leanings of who they decide to go after and who they decide to we're just gonna look the other way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's only a few instances during old Cocaine Mitch's career, one of which I'm sure we'll get into later. But the only reason that you'd ever cheer for the man is, he kept Merrick Garland off the Supreme Court. Now that he's head of the DOJ, people see how fucking extreme he is, and it's one of those thank God, thank Jeebus for fucking Cocaine Mitch and Trumpsicles, because we got Neil Gorsuch instead of this guy.
Yeah.
In a lifetime appointment position.
Right. Jesus. That'd be fucking all right. That'd be fucking nuts, man. But
yeah, Obama fought hard for that one, man.
So let me go ahead and fucking read this here. It's Honorable Judge Lewis A. Kaplan, United States District Judge, United States versus Samuel Bankman-Fried. Dear Judge Kaplan, the government respectfully submits this letter to provide the court with an update regarding count 8 of the original indictment, which corresponds to count 12 of the S5 superseding indictment, and which charges the defendant with conspiracy to make unlawful campaign contributions. On June 27, 2023, the court denied the defendant's motion to dismiss this count on rule of specialty grounds, nothing that the defendant lacks standing to assert the rule of specialty to assert the rule of specialty, docket 167 at 12. In opposing the defendant's motion, the government informed the court that the United States has sought clarification from the Bahamas regarding whether this count was included in the defendant's extradition. The court directed the parties to keep the court informed of the status of the government's request for clarification. The government has been informed that the Bahamas notified the United States earlier today that the Bahamas did not intend to extradite the defendant on the campaign contributions count. Accordingly, in keeping with its treaty obligations to the Bahamas, the government does not intend to proceed to trial on the campaign contributions count. So basically, like I said, they're getting rid of anything pertaining to campaign contributions, right? It seems
It's
to
a
be
fucking
the
joke,
gist of it.
man.
Yeah.
It's a fucking joke because they're saying the estimated total that this guy's already contributed is up to $40 million. Okay, but you see, Dinesh D'Souza went to prison over a couple $1,000,
Right.
and they're saying it was election fraud or election contribution fucking fraud basically, and but this guy's allowed to do this with 2 billion of customers' money still missing. You know what I mean? Who knows what he really did with the shit, right?
Right.
And how much that went to contributions or being laundered in Ukraines or what have you on top of it. So I mean, yeah, and then you got like Bernie Madoff. You know what I mean? Up until Bankman-Fried here, he was the largest fucking in Ponzi schemes as far as it was like 1.8 billion. This guy blows him out of the water. That guy's died in prison, and this guy's gonna end up walking basically free, man. Guarantee.
Fucking insane, man.
Yeah.
Like I say, I think we're to the point where they're recklessly just fucking destroying the country. They're just recklessly fucking doing stuff that they know is going to be viewed as completely corrupt, and they just don't give a shit anymore. They know that they're literally fucking this is probably our last hurrah, guys. Probably going to be the end of the republic, so fuck it. Go nuts. And they're pardoning all these fucking people. They're doing fucking sweetheart deals for fucking old hunters biddings and shit. They're fucking essentially like we say, just because they're only fucking getting rid of some of the charges, they're not completely dismissing all the shit. Doesn't mean that they're not in essence completely dismissing everything with fucking Sam Bankman-Fried. But
Yeah.
it really seemed like I say. We say all the time, fucking they know that the ship is sinking and they're just fucking stuffing their pockets and shit. You know what I mean? And fucking just doing everything that they can. Like, dude, this Sam Bankman-Fried, didn't he fucking contribute like 5 fucking billion or some shit like that just to fucking Joe Biden's fucking campaign in 2020?
Oh, I mean, like I said, they're saying total his contributions to the Democrat Party were estimated $40 million.
Okay,
But
it
he's
might have
their
been 5
second
million.
largest donor. He's their second largest donor behind Soros, and Biden's second largest donor as well.
Yeah, fucking
yeah.
He has contributed to fucking some Republicans as well. I remember seeing a list that came out of some of his top donation recipients and shit. Fucking
One Eye Scratch was on there, wasn't he? Fucking Crenshaw's.
Yep.
I believe so, man.
Yep. Fucking one of our congressmen from down here, fucking old Schweikert. He was up there like pretty high on the fucking list. Actually, that dude's taking a lot of fucking Bankman-Fried's money. One of the Republican fucking representatives from here in Arizona.
Well, you see where that's gone. I mean, they've turned this state from fucking deep red to purple bordering on blue now, man.
Yeah.
And it was him. I'm sure probably Flake. You know what I mean? All these Democrats in disguise, these rhinos that we've had running this fucking state here for the past few years, and it's what it's gotten us. It's gotten us Hobbs, man.
That's right.
It's gotten us California laws coming in, all that good jazz.
I'd say fucking Hobbs is probably universally the least likable fucking governor in America right now. Least likable politician in America right now. I mean, just her demeanor, just the way that she talks, they're just I don't like to talk politics with people I don't know. Dude, she literally fucking ran to the bathroom when a reporter from Project Veritas tried to ask her questions, like fucking knocked her food off the fucking table and fucking ran to the bathroom because a reporter tried to ask her some questions. She did not campaign whatsoever. Like, I don't know. Sorry, fucking going a bit off topic. Every time we start talking about Katie Hobbs, my blood boils. Like I cannot stand that fucking woman. Like, absolute fucking embarrassment to Arizona, man. Completely.
Yeah, well, I mean, on a high note, as far as that's concerned, you've seen where they tried to pass a law saying that recording police here is basically illegal, right? And I don't know if you've seen, but the Arizona Supreme Court just struck that down. Said, "Hell no, man, you can't do that."
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So at least we retain that right here, man.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Fucking. A lot of people might think that just because we're fucking conservative or fucking Republicans or whatever, that means we're fucking back the blue. Not up in here. Not on this show. Yeah, you get out there, you record them motherfuckers, audit the blue. More like it. Like, yeah, no, dude, those motherfuckers they're a fucking a literal gang. I mean, if you actually want to think about it in terms like that, they go out, they're fucking, each one is required to fucking collect a certain amount of revenue for the leader of the fucking gang or the state, they fucking carry fucking guns and shit. They operate on a fraternal fucking system and shit like that, like amongst each other and shit. That's why every time, if you ever see like a video of a police officer getting pulled over for like DUI or something like that, like dude, the cops that pull them over, or they try so hard to not arrest them. They try everything they fucking can to, like, oh well, I don't know, there's everything they can. They're If it wasn't for fucking body cams and shit like that, like I'm sure most of them were just like, oh well, let's just get you home, sir. Like complete fucking. I mean, I get, they do serve an important role, but most of them are fucking shitbags and most of them are fucking scumbags.
I agree with you, but we also have to clarify on here, like, because you got both sides that'll definitely attack you while you're saying we're not conservative bootleggers. At the same time, man, they're necessary evil, man.
Right.
And they really do help make a cohesive fucking civilization. But I believe that people you trust to enforce the law should not only be held to the law, but to an even higher standard. And if you put teeth to things when you make people remember that we're the boss, dude. I mean, things change pretty rapidly. Like you were saying, watching those audit videos, you get to see cops eat crow or fucking the walk of shame on a regular basis, and you need more of that, man.
Right. It's too rare though. Too few, especially because, like I say, they do serve a purpose and stuff, a very necessary, purpose, something very necessary to a functioning society. But it's like I say, a lot of it's really just because fucking body cams and shit like that nowadays. They kind of have to, you know. They really just do have that fucking thin blue line bond and shit like that. Which I get it, I do. I'm not gonna say that like, oh, like you guys should fucking, like, you guys literally watch each other's back all day and shit like that. You guys should fucking arrest each other whenever anybody does anything wrong. You guys should be the first to tattle on each other. Like I get it. It's I probably wouldn't either if I was part of that fucking that.
That's
clan.
why I think. That's why I think that it should be cops that are from their own neighborhoods. Man, you got to have tie to the community. We spoke on this before. It was like back in the day. You didn't travel 50, 70 miles to go to work as a police officer. You went to your neighborhood precinct. You knew the neighborhood kids, shit like that. Like you're saying, the police will take you home instead of busting you and shit. That's why it was like that back in the day, because it was community. I mean, we've lost that overall, but especially with law enforcement. And unfortunately, though, the higher ups, the DOJ and whatnot, FBI, all these, alphabet soups, you'll never have that ever. But at least the local, you could easily bring it back to that.
Right. I mean,
You know
so
what I mean?
whatever happened to fucking neighborhood watch? Like, did they ban them? Like, they call them fucking vigilantes or some shit like that? By the way, shout out to Dogface in the chat. What's up, buddy? But yeah, dude, fucking like what happened to fucking neighborhood watch and shit? Like, it used to be back in the old days, fucking there'd be people that fucking they got together and they'd have a fucking different night and someone just cruise around the neighborhood all night, keeping an eye on shit. You know, what happened to that type shit? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm betting some fucking some kid probably got shot walking in the wrong neighborhood or something. I don't fucking know, but yeah, there really just needs to be some definite reform when it comes to fucking the policing of local communities.
Yep, man. You seen? I don't know if you were talking, but the lights just flashed. That storm just hit
Oh yeah,
as we're talking. Yeah,
yep,
so we'll keep going, but I might lose power. Boom! There it just flashed again.
yep. Well, looks like we might have lost old Mr. Swine here. Oh, no, you still there? In and out.
Almost, man.
All right,
Yeah.
fucking backup generators, man. But
It's too much solar, bro.
all right, well, let's go ahead and get into our second. Let's go ahead and get into our second story here. And Judge Noriega rejects the Hunter Biden plea. Right now, this plea is probably the most fucking sweetheart deal that anybody's ever heard of. We got basically it seems like the prosecution and the fucking defense working together basically to more or less kind of make this thing go away, to make anything that Hunter Biden has done with Ukrainians or basically anything pertaining to money laundering or to basically the whole Biden crime family racket. They're trying to make it go away, right? And yeah, so it seems like the prosecution and the defense are working in tandem. They put together this sweetheart deal that basically would grant Hunter Biden immunity to anything that is not, or anything that generally pertains to the stuff that is, or that he's being charged for, which is some misdemeanor fucking tax shit. What was it? Fucking was it tax evasion or fucking failure to pay taxes?
It was some kind of tax fraud. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
either way, I mean, it was like you said, they snuck in blanket amnesty, and I know that the prosecuting side said that they didn't know that was in there, and and then the other side's like, if it's not in there, then we're not signing. You know what I mean?
Right, which is absolute bullshit. The prosecution definitely knew, which, by the way, the prosecutors are Leo Weiss and Derek Hines. And they are actually from a previous case. I forget whose tweet it was, but from a previous case, they actually sought to give a person, I think it was 8 or 12 to 18 months in prison for far lesser tax-related crimes. So these people, they are, fucking, they're pretty hawkish when it comes to locking people up for tax crimes. But for some reason, when it comes to Hunter Biden and his severe tax crimes, tax fraud, fucking, if you really want to, boil it down and shit, downright fucking, I don't know, fucking foreign influence peddling, fucking treason. I don't know what the fuck you want to call it and shit. But, when it comes to this, they're going to not only fucking, so here's the thing with diversion. When it comes to diversion, which is what Hunter Biden basically got for the gun charge, right? When it comes to diversion, the prosecutor and the defense attorney hammer the details of that out together. So the prosecution trying to say that, oh, we didn't know that was in there is absolute bullshit because you agreed to it before you guys even brought it before the judge to, approve, basically. So they knew damn well that it was in there. And I forget where I was going with this, but basically, the judge fucking they shot it down. The judge basically called it out and basically said, well, did you know this was in there? So basically, the diversion normally doesn't cover anything beyond what the actual diversion is for, which would have been the gun charge, but they are sneaking in blanket immunities for just about everything that he's done. Just everything that he's done before this.
Yeah, for the FARA charges, everything, man. Right, registering as a foreign agent. It's like you said, complete blanket amnesty, man.
All right, and just the fact that they tried to sneak it in through his diversion, like I said, that's generally something that's going to be, again, I'm not a lawyer, not trying to. This is something that I heard from another show, and from the fact that I've done diversion myself previously. But this is diversion is something that the defense and the prosecutor decide on together, and then they go ahead and present it to the judge, right? So the judge basically looked it over and said, well, you can charge him for other stuff, can't you? And then the prosecution said, well, yeah, we can. And then the judge said, well, why are those charges not brought up here? And then fucking the judge basically went over and said, like, oh, well, does this immunity basically cover it? And that's when the prosecution basically said, oh, no, we didn't know that was in there. The deal is off. And then, so now they're basically going back to the drawing board and stuff, because like I said, they're trying to play it off like we didn't know that was in there. We didn't know that those types of immunities were in there, even though we wrote the fucking thing. But it's not flying. It's basically they're showing their ass right now. They're and it's funny too, because all the fucking left wing commentators and news people are basically trying to play it off as like, this isn't a sweetheart deal. This isn't a sweetheart deal. Anybody would have got, most people wouldn't have even gotten charged. The common person probably wouldn't have even gotten charged, let alone, have to actually, get a misdemeanor and fucking diversion. They're actually throwing the book at Hunter Biden. Like their copium is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, if they're throwing the book at Hunter Biden,
right.
They wouldn't even have brought charges if his name wasn't Biden's.
Right.
Yeah, man. But it's it's like you said earlier, it's in your face clown show corruption, and they're not even trying to hide it no more. It's just literal newspeak everywhere you go. Straight newspeak, ingsoc, fucking, you know what I mean? It's war is peace, fucking freedom is slavery. And it's for real clown world shit, bro. I don't even know what else to say beyond all they're gonna do is just keep anytime something comes to surface, like, look, Hunter did this, Biden did this, they're just gonna drop another charge on Trump. It's gonna be another indictment. Yep. And that's what the Atlanta one's holding out. They're holding out for Congress that their investigative subcommittee there to roll some more information out, and then they're going to drop the Atlanta charge on Trump.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So what's the so what's the 3 new charges that they're bringing up against Trump? I haven't looked into it all. It's been headline news everywhere. Just I'm so burnt out on the Trump indictment. Trump's being indicted here. Trump's being indicted in this state. Like at this point, dude, like if it's not abundantly clear that the Justice Department is being weaponized against this man, like I don't know what's going to fucking wake you up. Like.
And it's all referring to conspiracy to cover up. But they're trying to say that he attempted to wipe fucking servers, bro. You know what I mean? Like literally, yeah, they're literally trying to charge him for attempting to wipe servers when they stood on, when Comey stood on national television and said that no sane prosecutor would bring charges against Hillary Clinton for literally wiping servers.
Right. I'm gonna say I got the best defense. Has he tried asking them what difference at this point does it make?
Right.
Or
right. Or what do you mean, like with a rag or something?
Right. Like bleach? What do you mean? Acid? What do you mean? Like no.
Right.
Oh my god, man! Fucking absolute ridiculousness, man! Complete fucking weaponization of our justice system, and it at the same time, I really would like to see how a lot of the rest of the world is actually receiving what's going on here in America right now. You know what I mean? Like I would like to get the take of somebody that's completely third party, completely fucking unbiased, just their view on what's going on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know on the old tiki-taki world, dude, and there's a lot of foreigners on there. Obviously, it's a worldwide app and shit like that, and a lot of like one-liners, but it's obvious broken English, pretty foreign people talking to you, and they're always like, your country's become the laughing stock of the world, like, and I had some people on there from Germany talking about they fear for their children when they know Joe Biden's coming to town, and like, you know what I'm saying? So it definitely they see the shit, and then when you watch like Sky News, for instance, obviously out of Australia. it's their conservative, it's their Fox or whatever. But they point it out constantly. They have whole segments on Joe Biden's fuck up of the weeks and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my lady was actually we were talking about the Joe Biden fucking eating a baby and shit, and
yeah.
my lady was asking me like what kind of mother would literally put their child up to Joe Biden's face, like, and that's kind of what got me wondering about it. I'm like, they probably don't see him as a fucking weird pedophile kid fucker the way that we do. You know, they probably see him
Yeah.
as this is the president of the United States. Like, here, kiss my baby. You know, like that's why I say, like, I wonder, how it gets reported around the world and stuff. You know, if they're really like, if if every news station around the world, I mean, I know that there's a lot of ones like Sky News Australia and stuff like that or actually reporting the real shit. But yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of fucking propaganda being pumped out of America to the rest of the world right now about, like, they're fighting an insurrection, like they got Hitler V2, like fucking over there trying to fucking, like they're trying to save democracy there in America, like I don't know, man, fucking dude, I don't really when I kind of think about it, dude, fucking Obama's basically opening the floodgates to propagandize the fucking United States citizens is what destroyed this country. Like, is what's basically ripping this country apart and basically polarizing us to the point of civil war. Like, we don't know what to fucking think anymore. Like, I constantly question our side. I'm constantly like, are we the assholes? Like, but when I think about it in common sense, like, dude, they're literally chopping fucking dicks off and trying to have sex with children. Like, no, we're on the right side, you know.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
the propaganda fucks with your head a little bit, like it's crazy.
What's fucked up though is that was in the National Defense Authorization Act, right? When he signed that, and it keeps being renewed. I believe not long before we started this stream, I saw a headline come across the screen saying that they're close to passing the newest rendition of it. You know what I mean? And you're not seeing anything about that kind of shit being removed, and you won't be able to read it until after it's already passed. So you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
it's a continuation. They're not going to let go of that power. Both sides, like you said, the in-your-face corruption, and that's a beautiful fucking tool of power right there.
Oh yeah.
So they're definitely not going to let that one go, man.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's really what I believe is the spark or the fucking initial fucking spark that has gotten us to where we're at today. That dude is the fucking devil. He's the Antichrist, I say.
It didn't only come with that. Like, I mean, he signed that, but at the same time, he stoked racial division. It's a literal black fucking millionaire attorney that went to Ivy League schools, being elected fucking as president with zero experience, telling you the country's fucking racisms, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, it was white people that got you elected.
Right. They never gonna
loud
let
as fuck.
What, the torch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say you can hear it because I just have the mic going. But on the live stream I have noise filters and all that type of shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they can't hear shit. But oh man, dude. Fucking
Storming hard here.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good shit though, Desert. We out in the desert, man. Yeah, you need some weeds and yard work to do.
It's like this in the desert, bro. You live out here, it's fucking, a rainstorm. Everybody loses power. The whole fucking neighborhood's black.
Yep. Yeah, it really does fucking blow out here. Dude, I mean, really, solar would kind of be the way to go living in Arizona, but I would not get solar unless I knew I could get fucking batteries.
Batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motherfucking batteries. Let me tell you.
Yep, dude. So what about the hunter shit though, man? I mean, as the president's son, I mean, Do you think there's ever the possibility that old Biddens is going to go nuclears, dude?
And just
And
fucking try and pardon Hunter
yeah,
and get impeached.
yeah, yeah.
He could.
I mean, he can't even.
I don't
mean,
think
he
so, to
can't
be
even
honest.
try. All he's got to do is say he's pardoned, and it's a wrap, son. And then he doesn't even got to worry about getting impeached. He's only got a year left. He can just
Right.
walk off into the sunset, dude.
I don't.
Fucking shed his skin and.
I'll be honest though. I don't think Joe Biden cares about his kids enough. He would gladly throw Hunter Biden underneath the bus for political points. He would gladly throw Hunter Biden underneath the bus so he could say they're attacking my family and elect me so I could pardon my family. You know, he would gladly fucking let his kids fucking get thrown in prison so he can remain in power. Yeah, Joe Biden's just the fucking epitome of political evil and fucking human scum. He fucking politicizes the death of his fucking son almost on a daily basis, dude. Like that dude has no fucking shame, bro. I don't think he would fucking sacrifice himself or his presidency for Hunter Biden. Definitely not.
I think at this point, without fucking constant fucking drug use, he's a walking corpse at this point, and he's told what to say on a daily. You know what I mean? I'm sure that his team, his handlers, they tell him to mention Bo. Like, use your other son. Talk about how he's the war's heroes.
Right. And that's why I say too. It's like I don't dude. Like clearly the dude has no fucking shame, dude. Like I don't know, man. Would you be able to lie about your dead child in order to fucking self-serve, to serve yourself, Like I don't.
I don't. I don't think so. Man.
Right, dude. That's a scummy fucking move, dude. Yeah. Especially.
Yeah, that's why we're not fucking politicians and shit, though. You got to be unscrupulous, at least to an extent, to get elected. Man. It's unfortunate people aren't elected on merit.
Oh yeah, definitely not. That Deb almost gave me a fucking stroke, man. Let me tell you. Speaking of fucking strokes. oh, cocaine Mitch. You know when you fucking do a fat line and you go to fucking speak right before to the press, and then your heart just kind of stops mid sentence.
Cocaine glitch, dude.
Right. You ever had that feeling? Well, fucking cocaine Mitch just had that fucking feeling. What was it? Fucking Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday, some shit. I don't know. This last week,
Yeah.
Dude had a complete fucking meltdown, which is really kind of calling into question: should there be age limits to making fucking decisions that affect every single person in this fucking country? And that also begs the question: should there be term limits as well? So we're gonna kind of go into that a little bit. And what's your thoughts on the age limits or term limits? It's been a topic of controversy quite a bit over the last fucking couple of years.
I mean, age limits to me, it's kind of a cognitive issue. I mean, you see, old Biddens and McConnell, they're not much older than old Trumpsicles, but there's a vast difference, bro.
Right.
There really is. And I'm not even saying that because, of a political reason or anything. I mean, I'm just pointing out the obvious. You know what I mean? But term limits, fuck yeah. And especially, it will be unfortunate, though, because you get, your Ron Pauls, your Rand Pauls.
Mhm.
And I mean, you want these guys around for a while. But so, I mean, you will lose a few statesmen. But at the same time, I think if they don't have an extended period to be there, they don't have as much time to be corrupted by money and get their pockets lined and shit, because I believe a huge majority of people that come into office come in with bright eyes, thinking I'm going to change things. I'm going to do something. I'm really going to work for my constituents. But then they see how it works and they see how to get paid and how to get put on committees and whatnot. So then the corruption kicks in. But yeah, I'm all for term limits for sure. I mean, I don't know how long I'd want to go, similar to maybe a president, 8 years, but maybe slightly longer for a senator, maybe 12.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But
so basically, your points for it is it would basically limit their time in a certain position, and therefore limit their chance to, basically be, corrupted, or basically, have these people basically come in and start attaching the puppet strings to them and shit over time.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, I mean, of course, fresh ideas. I mean, creativity
Right.
comes in waves, man. And if you're switching minds, and also eventually we'll fucking run out of goddamn lawyers to elect, and we'll get some scientists, some doctors, some shit like that running the game for a while. See how it actually
Right.
goes once, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. And then at the same time too, it's not like fucking you can't do fucking 8 years in Congress and then fucking 12 years in the fucking Senate or whatever, and then fucking go be a fucking governor for the next fucking 8 years, and it's really, if you want a fucking career in politics and you're really that much of a fucking statesman, you could get elected to full terms in several different fucking bodies of government. It's not like fucking, you're gonna have, a couple, this amount of time to be in politics, and then that's it. You're gone. Better start a podcast now or something. It's there's really, you can still have a pretty fulfilling, career in politics. It's just, even with term limits.
Right. How do you feel about lifelong salaries, though? I mean, it's like, I believe, like the Senate, for instance, if you serve 2 terms, you get a lifelong fucking, salary.
Yeah.
I think that's a little steep, bro.
All right. I think I'm gonna lose my fucking mind if I have to fucking, if my taxes are gonna be going to fucking John Fetterman for the rest of his fucking life.
You think you can handle another term? I mean, realistically, I mean, obviously, I don't think you should be there now, but
Right. Maybe. I mean, fucking, dude, I don't know, dude. Like the Democrats will literally talk for you. Fucking, you saw that whole fucking gobbledygook that he said, with the tax papers and all that type of fucking bullshit, and fucking you saw what, right?
Go ahead.
And you saw how they reported it in the papers, in the news and shit. They basically what he meant to say. Right. Yeah. Fucking, they basically they had to tell her to fucking just say yes. Basically.
Yeah.
He started rambling during a vote.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man.
Yep.
I mean,
which, speaking of which, if you're watching this later, the clip will be right here. But yeah, fucking Dianne Feinstein.
Yeah, man, 90 years old. I mean, dude, that's a little overboard. Like I said, I mean, ultimately, freedom of choice is freedom of choice. If people want to elect a 90-year-old, but she shouldn't have already been there for 50 years of that 90.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that really just does make you kind of question the voters. We know damn well that fucking the Democrats' best tool to getting fucking elected is ballot harvesting. Dude, I guarantee you, they're at fucking homeless shelters and shit, fucking registering people to vote, and just, how the fuck else could anybody, like, honestly, like, look at most of these people and be like, yeah, I want that guy, Yeah, I mean, I do know a huge majority of it too is just because of the fact that the vote blue no matter who cult is a real thing. A lot of people really are, just diehard fucking Democrats and shit, and they don't give a shit. I don't know. Looking at California and shit, like, did you see I'm sure you saw the fucking the CNN news report where fucking they're reporting about how shit has to get fucking locked up, everything down to like fucking coffee, deodorant, lotion, all that shit. And fucking they're like, it's like a police state in here. And meanwhile, fucking like 3 people, steal shit right in front of the fucking CNN news cameras. Like, do you see that?
Yeah. And I actually saw that, and then it was attached to a string of other ones behind it. And it was just nonstop people, just steady looting like Dollar Generals and fucking Targets and just rolling out carts and shit, just stacked. And, of course, they put a bunch of clown music to it. And, yeah, it's good times.
It really just does kind of show you, though, how oblivious people truly are. Like, people are just starting to realize, like, wait, something's wrong here. Like, it's the way that you vote. It's the way that you've been voting for the last fucking several decades. Like, it's the way that you vote. And, like, no, I don't think it's that. Like, people are completely oblivious, dude. people just watch fucking their favorite fucking I don't know, paid fucking government shill fucking uh influencer, fucking their favorite movie stars or whatever, their fucking rock the vote fucking MTV fucking bullshit, and that's literally how they fucking that's what sways their vote. And then again, like I said, the whole fucking ballot harvesting fucking bullshit too. You know, it's really it brings into question, should there be fucking limits on, or should there be either like limitations on who's allowed to vote, or should there be some sort of prerequisite that needs to that you need to do before you are allowed to vote. Should I don't know. Should voting be a privilege, or is voting a right? Basically, that's what the debate is right now. Seems like. What's your take on that?
Like I said, I think it is a right, but at the same time, just because it's a right doesn't mean that it should be just fucking handed out like water. It's a precious fucking resource as well,
Mm-hmm.
and even more so because it's going to dictate even your water. You know what I mean? But
Right.
there should definitely be some kind of limitations. You got to have some kind of skin in the game. I think if you collect fucking government benefits or something like that, you definitely shouldn't be allowed to vote because you're only going to vote in self-interest, and that's some shit that our founders literally warned against. You know what I mean? And I don't want to revert to that every conversation, but I mean those words are there for a reason for you to refer back to.
Oh,
And it's similar to once crowds realize that they can vote themselves money, they'll break the fucking country, bro. You know what I mean?
right. But I mean, isn't all voting really based on your self interest? You know what I mean? I mean, like shit.
It
I
it
want to vote
it,
for
it,
Trump
it
because I like the shit that that he's promising and shit.
but
But
he's promising things not directly like how Democrats are.
right.
We're gonna forgive your debt. We're gonna give you free this. We're gonna give you free that. You're voting like you like what Trump's saying, but it's on a larger scale. It's as far as what he's gonna do for the country, as far as your self interest, not your direct self interest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's as a whole. And and for people that preach fucking democracy and communism and socialism so much, it's funny that they can't get that. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to help it as a whole, the community, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's all they're worried about is the individual themselves. What can he do for me? You know what I mean? What debt can he forgive? What can I get for free? What fucking childcare voucher? Fucking Section 8, food stamps, yada yada, man. And so there's a difference, I think.
And really, the whole thing is taxes were never supposed to be meant for that. The government's fucking role never had anything to do with your quality of life. Basically, the whole fucking FDR and the Great Society fucking is basically again that starting point that is what has led to the bullshit that we're at now, where people expect benefits. Like, have you noticed a lot of the talk basically that the fucking left wing is saying is they're taking away our rights. They're taking away our rights. The trannies are talking about, oh, our rights are being taken away and shit. Like, no rights are being taken away. The only thing that is being taken away is basically you're being denied on your fucking power grab. You're being denied on basically getting extra benefits because you're a fucking sexual deviant. You're being denied, you're not being, your rights aren't being taken away. You're being denied extra privileges based off of your
Right.
individual identity, based off of your
Yeah,
fucking,
I mean,
a demographic group and shit. You're not, you're,
literally,
they're not taking away your
literally,
rights. They're denying
right.
your fucking, your whining.
Just literally fucking stump them by saying, "What rights do I have that you don't?"
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking that simple.
Yeah. Fucking, political power, or fucking, special treatment, or fucking, affirmative action, of any way. Basically, the idea of equity in any way is not a right. It's not even, it's not right, period. It's not a right, and it's just not right. Like, that's not what America was ever meant to be. And that's what I think the big problem is. Really, that's kind of my, my whole thing against the Libertarian Party. I like the idea of libertarianism, but the Libertarian Party is they're too much of ideologues. They're too much of like, if you believe that we should have open borders because of the fact that liberty, freedoms, like freedom should not be walled in. You're a fucking idiot, fucking stupid. And really
Yeah.
the whole thing is we could have a nation with open borders if we got rid of all benefits, if we were actually a liberty based fucking nation, if it was every man for himself, fucking the quality of your life is based off of your choices and decisions. If that's what America actually was, which is what it was intended to be, fine. Anybody could come over because you're not going to get any benefits if you're not here to help and you're not here to contribute and you're not here to fucking, be somebody. You're not going to make it. So yeah, anybody could fucking come over. Sure. Like I said, the whole idea of open borders cannot exist unless we have an actual fucking free nation. Basically, the idea of open borders should be the very, 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 very last thing on the idea of libertarianism. That should be the very last thing on the docket. We got to get rid of all these other fucking, infringements on liberty. The whole fucking left wing idea of like, oh well, fucking like I should have liberty to fucking I should have a right to health care, or I should have a right to fucking food stamps, or I should have a right to food, water, and shelter and shit like that. That should be a right. Like that's individual liberty on somebody else's dime is not individual liberty. That's not fucking liberty.
Not to mention, it's not even just the dime. It's literally demanding the fruit of someone else's fucking labor. Like, I mean, as far as like that water's got to go through a treatment plant. It's got to be, monitored, pH balance tested. I mean, so many things that go into everyday use that you take for granted that the stream is a right. There's a chain of people that are fucking working their ass off to provide that to you, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
So how are they going to get paid? Where's their fucking come up in the equation? How does it benefit them other than they have water, and who knows how far they live away from that plant? So what I mean, you could just keep going with that. And as far as the whole libertarian thing, yeah, I have hope for them. Obviously, the Mises Caucus just came back into control. I mean, we spoke on this before. I don't see them ever getting above like 5%, though.
Yeah.
I'll be realistic. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm in complete agreement with you. They're just as delusional as the left as far as the open border shit's concerned. I think that once the Bill Weld and Gary Johnson thing, they tried and purposely to attract disenfranchised leftists. But you can also break down their arguments with simplicity as far as like they're one of their main ones, and it's memed about forever, yada yada, is the roads, right? You can't have roads without government. Right. But at the same time, right, okay, these businesses are going to provide these roads that connect shipping ways to their business. Okay, I believe that because we had that before. But then what? So like I own a plot of land and I can't afford at the moment when they're fucking wanting to pave the road to do my half. So there's going to be a 30-foot section in front of my house that's not paved. You know what I'm saying? Like, just stupid shit like that, dude. You know what I mean? And and then obviously with the way they talk about police is like we were just speaking on, necessary, right? Regardless if you think it's stone cold evil, it's a necessary evil, man. Okay. And they're like basically like, well, you could provide your own securities. You know what I mean? So like, I'm making 50, 60 racks a year. I'm supposed to provide a $30,000 fucking salary for security. Right. You know what I mean? Like this, and then also have the 10 grand to chip in to get the road paved in front of the neighborhood and fucking, you know what I mean? Like, dude, come on now.
Well, if we was planes with sound money and there was no government fucking printing of money, then everybody would have all the money. Money would just flow like fucking gravy over fucking.
Right. If you weren't paying income taxes, dude, you'd just be rolling Bentleys right now.
Right. Right. Now, like I said, it's a necessary evil, but who holds government fucking spending accountable? Who holds really anything when it comes to government accountable? Even when it comes to war crimes, clearly nobody. Fucking Joe Biden is over here basically urging fucking war fucking crime, war crime fucking trials against fucking Putin right now. And meanwhile, he's over here sending fucking cluster bombs to use against fucking Putin, which is a war crime. Like, dude, like I say, like who the fuck? Yeah. And again, this is, our country, America and shit. Like, oh, you're supposed to be by America's side, which I am, but we need to be held accountable just as much as everybody else, Otherwise, we're gonna become fucking tyrants, as we have become.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's regardless of who's in charge, and regardless of painting a rainbow or having a Truny fucking launch the missile, it's still launching missiles, dude. And a war crime doesn't become fucking an act of care because there's a Democrat in charge. And if you're literally trying to fight a proxy war against someone for committing war crimes, I don't believe the answer to that is to like commit war crimes.
Right.
It's fucking, you know what I mean?
Right. Like, literally fight fire with cluster bombs. Right. But yeah, man, fucking, and let's be clear, this is very much a proxy war. This isn't Ukraine's fighting for their sovereignty. No, this is a proxy war. Let's be very fucking clear about that. I mean, if you listen to the talk when it comes to the fucking neocons and shit, when you listen to was it fucking Mike Pence and fucking basically the neocons and shit that were talking to Tucker Carlson and shit, they all talk about basically we need to make sure that Ukraine gets the stuff that they need so they could fight this war with Russia and shit, and basically we want to get all of Europe dependent on the United States and shit. Basically, they're going to the whole same old fucking neocon, like we need to be the boot of the world, like we need to be the fucking the world police and shit, like they're pro America being world police.
America.
And I disagree with that. And that's why the whole fucking, that's why this is very much a fucking proxy war.
Dude, you were bordering fucking really close to Ron Paul extremism, right? Dude, you know what I'm saying? I feel you. We definitely are the aggressors, dude. Over 190 bases, fucking around the world, man. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's 900 bases, dude. 900 bases around the planet, and that's an exorbitant amount of money. Not to mention stretching us thin. It makes us look like fucking tyrants. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And definitely you could see why these countries would plan to provoke situations. Like, dude, get the fuck out of here. All it's right. Like a bully that's always in the neighborhood. Eventually the neighborhood kids are going to gang up and stab the shit out of them, dude.
Yep.
And you know what I mean? And,
yep.
And I believe that Putin is serious, bro. And so is Gigi. I believe that China's been ramping up for war. He's ordered the increase of production of grains and cereal grains and whatnot. I believe that they'll probably take fucking old Taiwan's pretty quickly.
Yep.
And and then the Ukrainians. I got to revert a little. It's not only a proxy war. Let's get it also straight. It's a fucking civil war, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these are Russian speaking people. Yada yada. We know the situation. Can't get too deep here because I don't want your shit to get banned. But I mean, these guys, murdered their own countrymen, man.
Yep.
For no other reason than political fucking opposition.
I mean, it's beyond a civil war, because let's be clear, they could have come down and sat at the fucking negotiating table about a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and Boris Johnson. At first, we were told that it was the United States that was put the butts to that, right? Which I believe that I'm sure that they had a hand in it still.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's come out that Boris Johnson himself literally called Zelensky and was like, no, do not negotiate. We'll fucking fund you to the end. Like yada yada. And of course, they're kicking in pennies compared to our fucking stacks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As usual, per usual fucking Modi, dude.
Man. And then not to mention just how we're literally shamelessly fucking forcing Ukraine to stay in this war and fucking forcing them to have all their fucking young men be blown up by Russian artillery and shit. Like,
Yeah,
uh,
they're literally sending out squads to arrest guys trying to escape the fucking country,
right.
sending them out to arrest them and bring them to the front lines and shit.
Yep. Like I said, it's beyond the Civil War. Like this is now basically in the name of the United States. You know, like, well, we
Yeah,
have
at
to.
this point, for sure.
Yep. But hey, let's divert back to the original fucking discussion of voter reform. So, who gets to vote? Because it's not, when you really think about it, it's really not important who gets to vote. Who gets to count the votes?
Right.
In the words of both Joe Biden slash Joseph Stalin, they both said that same quote verbatim. Right. But anyways, so fucking back to voter reform. So there's a whole bunch of different ideas as to how we can, you know, change up the rules on who gets to vote because again, voting is a right, but at the same time, it's also a privilege. Like when it comes to things like being a convicted felon, shit like that, you don't get to vote. Like if you're a multiple felon, and it depends on the state as well too. Like me myself, I'm a convicted felon, but I do get to vote. For one, Arizona, if you have only one felony, which I do, your voting rights get automatically reinstated. But at the same time, I've also had my full rights reinstated, which is why I'm allowed to possess firearms and shit like that as well too. But back to who can vote. Like I said, your voting rights can be infringed upon already, and basically, we need some sort of a, I guess like either prerequisite or basically, I don't know, like it's there. So there's been a whole bunch of talk about Vivek Ramaswamy and Tim Pool have been talking actually quite a bit about it, and it's about stuff like service guaranteed citizenship, like you sign up for a year of military service or something like that, and fucking you get to vote or something, or like in another one like you brought up, if you're on fucking government benefits, you don't get to vote. If you don't make income tax, you don't get to vote. Maybe fucking if you want to vote, you have to sign up for the draft, and the draft then gets a more narrowly limited scope as to basically defending the homeland or something, defending us from foreign invasion, not not defending our financial interests abroad, that type of stuff. But a whole bunch of different type of stuff. All right, so let's kind of break these down one at a time. So we'll start with signing up for a draft. But what's your thoughts on that?
But we already do that, you know what I'm saying? Well, you're supposed to. It's the law, you know what I mean? You turn 18, you're supposed to sign up for selective services. I mean, obviously, I'm not all for conscription or anything, but at the same time, you do have to have, that ability to call on a force to defend the country if need be. And but if need be, to me, isn't sending your 18, 19-year-old kids off to fucking Viet fucking Nams. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it should be used as only emergency last resort situation. And that's another reason to shrink down the base total around the planet as far as stretching thin. Because that's really the main fucking focus of the military is defend the country, man.
Yep.
So I'm all for the draft, but I don't believe females should have to sign up for the draft.
True.
But I also don't believe females should be on the battlefield. You could call me misogynistic or whatever the fuck.
But then again, what if they are, what if they do sign up for the draft? But of course, based on gender, that's going to dictate where you're assigned, whether or not you're going to be holding a gun or whether or not you're going to be tapping on a keyboard or fucking work at a factory line or something, or fucking making bread or whatever, that basically women are very, very important as well. Just definitely not on the fucking battlefield. I'll definitely say that.
Yeah, Colonel McMaster's, man. He said, well, you don't believe women should be on the battlefield? He said, no. He said, well, what makes you say that? He said 5,000 year of fucking military history.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll even go fucking further. I do not believe women should be police officers. Nope. Not for it, right? So my argument against it, for one, the obvious, fucking when it comes to taking down perps and shit. You've seen fucking, I'm sure you've seen fucking countless videos of fucking women trying to take down a perp and he's just standing there like, get off me. You know, like I'm sure you've seen plenty of videos and shit like that. And at the same time, too, I'm sure you've either been pulled over by a female police officer before, or heard stories of somebody that's been pulled over by a female police officer. They're nothing nice. Like you think fucking the the police are fucking out to get you, and fucking like female police officers. So they're in a generally male role right now, so, right? And they're basically they're out there scared. Most male officers are out there scared all the time. It's a natural thing. They literally put their lives on the line every day to protect and serve our fucking.
I feared for my life.
Right. But either way, their male fear and female fear are two different things. They're they basically work out two different ways. And so basically, when a female basically has fear, they're more, or they're less likely to react in a helpful way. Let's just put it that way. They're less likely to fucking be back there fucking pow, pow, pow. I got your back, partner. They're more likely to run and hide behind the fucking car and shit. As opposed to, when a guy's afraid and he's just gonna fucking shoot everything in sight, That's really in a lot of situations that's really kind of what it calls for, And then another thing too is power. Men in power handle power differently than women in power. Women in power tend to fucking abuse that shit to the fullest. They tend to be fucking cunts. They, especially if it's exercising their power over a male. And it doesn't even have to be like, you don't even have to be like a straight feminist or anything like that, which by the way, I'm assuming most fucking female police officers are feminists, but it's the way that they exercise power, they're fucking extreme. You think, like I said, you think fucking, the police fucking are trying to fuck with you for every little thing. Women police officers are going to fuck with you for every little fucking thing, just because they can.
Yeah. And I believe women leaders here in recent years, you've seen some serious examples of how they're quick to jump on the censorship and control train, especially through the C-1984. And I don't know if you've seen she the prime minister over in what was it, New Guinea or something, I want to say, during the C-19. Remember the dark haired chick, and she was all about censorship, and where she literally said, "We'll continue to be your only source of information on, COVID's," basically saying the state. She actually just took a job as far as like some kind of information, like censorship program with Harvard here in America, man. You know what I mean? And like Angela Merkel with Germany, yada yada. Yeah, the way females wield power, definitely. And obviously they function more on feelings, where guys are more logical. And I don't know, man. I definitely wouldn't want a female that's on some kind of hormonal situation, or monthly friends in charge of things. Or bad case, seeing judges just rack people.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, back to the original point, so when it comes to the draft, women can be useful, just definitely not in any sort of fucking role that has to do with protecting my ass. Like fucking go make us sandwiches, bitch. let the real men do the fight. Yeah.
But yeah, I could see that being, a prerequisite as far as voting is concerned, for sure.
Yep. And then when it comes to the draft too, that goes for fucking biology. Biologically, I don't give a fuck if you want to wear a fucking dress and throw on makeup. You're getting a fucking gun and you're getting the fuck out there and fighting because you got a fucking dick and balls, bro.
You didn't see, dude? The military just issued an order saying that if they're going through the hormonal treatment, they can they don't have to deploy. So that's the excuse to get the free surgeries and free GI Bill, and not even have to go do shit to get it.
Jesus, that's another reason why I'm for the service guarantee citizenship. Fuck no, nope, absolutely not, definitely no. That's a big no on my end. Like that's not even a maybe. That's fuck no.
Right,
Well,
that's Starship Trooper shit.
right, right. Like, so first off, let's start with the the mindset. Okay, so yes, you get disciplined. You know you get fucking you become a man, all this and that type of shit. But again, fucking especially with how our government tends to work, we're war hawks basically. Fucking there's not one generation that has signed up for the military that hasn't been sent overseas to go kill people. Like our fucking military is well battle hardened. You know, you sign up for the military, you're probably gonna kill somebody. You know, you're probably gonna kill some little brown kid somewhere. You know, and so fucking
Yeah.
more than likely you're gonna end up fucking getting shipped off somewhere and shit. And uh, it's probably gonna make if everybody in America had to fucking join the military, we probably would have a pretty hawkish mindset when it comes to fucking geopolitics. You know, which
Yeah, I
I,
mean, other countries do it though, and it does give you civic pride and yada yada. Like, I'm not even
right.
saying like military is even necessarily a bad thing as far as doing something, but the danger is just like you're saying, the way our government runs it.
Right.
That's the motherfucking problem, dude.
Yeah.
If you were gonna sign up and be trained and build some brotherhood and character responsibility yada yada, great. But dude, you're going to be sent away to fucking murder people. So yeah,
And you're probably gonna come back a fucking neocon. Like, let's be honest, you're probably gonna come back like fucking Ron DeSantis or Mike Pence and just, oh,
Crenshaws.
right, America can be the boot. Like, we should be the world police for everybody. Like, no, we shouldn't, motherfucker. We should stick to our country. Fucking trade with all political entanglements with none. Right? Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
Yeah, and dude, it's weird, man, because you know how like I'm sure you're well aware, like meet a lot of fools that go to prison and then like they get out and they're Christians and whatnot.
Hmm.
It's almost like that with the military, bro. Like you'll know someone and they're partiers, fucking drug users,
Yep.
and they're like, "I'm going to the military, dude," and then you see them again and they're like fucking straight legged and fucking, "We got to go murder Iraqis, bro."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
Imagine
trying
an
to convince you
imagine
that's
an
a good.
entire nation of people like that, and you're not allowed to vote unless you're one of those people. Like, yeah. Again, this is probably taking it to the extreme, but America tends to do that. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. Like you said, terrorism's.
Right. Yep. So another one that I'm actually really, on board with is fucking if you receive government benefits, no voting for you. You know, that seems pretty fucking, open and shut to me. It's for one, it's really easy to implement. Basically if you whenever you're fucking signing up for your food stamps or your fucking your unemployment or your welfare, you also have to fucking sign up a little form that says I agree that I am not allowed to vote until I no longer receive benefits or so and so. Be pretty damn
Yeah.
easy to fucking basically get people to just like, okay, so I just sign here and then I receive my, yep, here's your fucking food stamp card. It'll be loaded up tomorrow. Like, cool. Yeah, I'm
They're
cool with
good.
that.
They'll call that white supremacies, just like voter ID. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But it's we're fucking dude. It's just like when you go to a state park and it says don't feed the bears. They tell you that because it's going to become dependent and it's going to approach other humans to beg for food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's the same situation. Like I mean, you know, like
Hmm.
that's the reason that you can't vote. And it's it's like you said, you sign off on it. It's personal choice. We'll help you out, but you can't do both.
Yep. So the way I like to look at fucking nations and societies and stuff like that is basically in the family sense. So basically at the top is the mom and dad, fucking mother and father government, fucking Democrats, Republicans, fucking the left wing and the right wing of government, and basically that's who runs everything, in the country and shit. That's basically the top, who runs the family. Then you got fucking the kids and shit, which is basically, the brother and sister, son and daughter, boy and girl, basically fucking the Democrat Party and the Republican Party, the you know, basically the son and daughter, and then fucking basically so that's how things are run. Basically, the people at the top, they get the most of everything, because they're the one that fucking basically people that have everything. They're the ones that handle all the bills. They're the ones that handle all the food and fucking wealth and redistribution. Fucking they're the ones that settle disputes between the kids and shit like that. They're the ones that basically have the full say of how everything is run in this country, right? And then fucking when it comes to people on fucking government benefits and stuff like that, they are basically infant, or they're basically the baby, because for one, they're completely dependent. They're they can't fucking take care of themselves. They can't fucking feed themselves without fucking mother or father government basically suckling on their fucking teat, which is generally going to be fucking motherfucking government or the Democrat fucking left wing side, but yeah, they're dependent and shit, and so basically it brings a new dynamic into American society. With basically that's what socialism becomes, is basically fucking that's the socialism side, is basically whenever a nation adopts socialism, basically they just had a new baby. And everything's about to be real fucked
sucks.
up.
And we also set it up to where it's like a cycle, man. Like they're kind of fucked as well, because it's like if they get a job to try to better themselves, and the government's there like, okay, well, we're going to cut off your kids' insurance. Then you know what I mean? If the father's in the house, we're going to cut off your kids' insurance.
Yeah.
Fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't want you on. They act like they don't want you on it, but then they make it to where you can't get off of it. And so there is a plight there, as far as we should dedicate some funds, instead of sending it to the goddamn Ukraines and trying to train people in fucking diversity and equity, and focus more on like job training, shit like that, dude. Fucking adult education. There used to be those kind of programs for people. I'm sure they helped out to a pretty large extent, and I'm surely not talking fucking Bernie Sanders free college and whatnot, but some job training is, I mean, dude, come on. That's and especially as far as workforce, it's always, well, Americans aren't trained, we have to import workers. It's one of the big excuses right now as far as their open borders shit is concerned. It's a matter of focus, like I said earlier, man. Community, dude.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll have some socialists on here and some communists arguing like, that's socialism. That's what we're arguing about. If the government's gonna take my tax dollars, I would rather it be put to good use inside of my country than fucking, like I said, funding Ukraine's or foreign aid to countries that hate us.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely. Like, basically fucking keep the money within the family instead of fucking sending it to the so fucking the one fucking neighbor that lives in a trailer down the street could fight the other fucking neighbor that lives in another trailer farther down the street. Like,
yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, if you really want to go communist, let's go communist, dude. Cut out the funds from fucking Afghan fucking gender studies. You know what I mean? Just close down all these goddamn fucking military bases, close the borders, dude, yada yada, and focus on ourselves, and we'll be one big communist community and try to build from the inside out. Let's try it. Let's go.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when you put it down like that, of course, they're gonna have a million arguments on why that's inhumane, dude, to cut off fucking aid to Israel and whatnot, even though they make speeches on the floor and on Al Jazeera talking about how they hate Israel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Basically anything that you say they're gonna disagree with. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. Right, dude.
Yep. So fucking what do you think about a civics test? Basically as a prerequisite in order to get in a voter ID card, basically, like how we have here in Arizona. I guess semi have here. I think we did. No, we didn't pass the law, but still we do have voter IDs. Just they don't really mean anything. But what do you think of something like a civics test, and then you get a fucking voter ID card, and boom, you're able to vote now.
I think that they'll find a way to make it a money venture. Like when you go to get a license, you got to take this test, and you got to pay for this, and then you got to pay for that, and then you got to pay for the photo, and then you got to, you know what I mean? They're definitely going to make it a money pyramid scheme there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it'd be cool to an extent for sure. Like a license, I mean, just so they know you got some kind of fucking cognitive process happening, and you're not some illiterate just like,
Yeah.
hell, man, he talking about free shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I mean, I would be okay with that, I guess.
Right. I mean, you could literally do it like fucking like a license too. Like shit, I'd be cool with paying, fucking $12 whenever I need to renew it or some shit like that. And then I don't know how long would you have to renew your license? Like fucking every 4 years, every fucking 10 years, once a decade, maybe. I don't know.
I know my license is good for like 30 years,
Right.
but
My license is
but
good till I'm 65.
hell yeah, hell yeah, dude. But I I could see, as far as the voting shit is concerned, another thing that the main topic had to fucking switch to is like you said, who's going to count it?
Right.
You know what I mean? Regardless of any kind of restrictions or anything like that, we're talking. We got to go back to some type of system that resembles fucking common sense. I mean, I think it was France that they no mail-in ballots, they hand count, and they were able to, tell them who won the election the same night.
Yep. Seems seems like it should be fucking something doable, but apparently not in America, the most fucking advanced fucking nation in the world, right?
So called, man.
Just checking out we got up to 4 viewers at one point. We've had a total of 9 views so far on this stream. Good times.
Moving up. Yeah,
Moving
up the
on
big
up.
times, dude. Right, man. It could be a thing, dude. Fucking I know I was posting the shit everywhere, you know what I mean? Trying to get cats, but we'll see, dog.
Yeah. We were also talking about whether or not you pay taxes. So that could be, either an income tax, a property tax, a capital gains tax, something like that. But either way, basically anything that's other than fucking, individual product sales taxes, you know. And basically if you pay taxes, then you're able to fucking vote. But I don't know. I think that would be a bit too complicated. We'd have to work way too much with the IRS, and we'd have to trust that fucking the IRS is actually, we'd actually be able to put fucking use to those 87,000 IRS workers,
Yeah, I mean, depending on them, period, is a mistake.
Right.
Abolish the motherfucking IRS, bro.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I like I said, you just got to have skin in the game, and I mean, I don't know, I don't know, man. I mean, taxing is one way. I mean, it's pretty easy to prove if you've paid taxes. A fucking check stub, you know what I mean? It's simple as that.
Yeah.
But
But then again, I mean, they could do their fucking ballot harvesting shit at fucking like, I don't know, blood donation centers or some shit like that. Like, oh, I made some money. Like, all right, cool, you made some money. We're gonna take about 10 cents out of that, and cool. Here's your voter registration card. Make sure you vote Democrat. Like, dude, that's seriously. I'm sure that's how they fucking do like this type of shit. Obviously, not like at like fucking blood banks and shit like that. But like, dude, I'm sure they go to like homeless shelters and shit. And like, you a convicted felon? You a convicted felon? Like, oh, okay, you're not one. Okay, cool. Would you like to register to vote? Like, that's how they do it, man. Like,
they'll still be at nursing homes. Like, you paid taxes on your Social Security.
yep, yeah, dude. Yeah, it's fucking.
Yeah, I mean, how long would you want it to be good for though? Like a license? Like, do you just do it once? And that's another thing. What about opening up the elections? Like the restrictions here. Like, you have to be registered as a Republican in the state primaries to vote Republican, or you know what I mean? It should be just wide open, dude.
Right.
Like, it doesn't matter what party you claim to be affiliated with. If a candidate, catches you more than the one you're affiliated with, why can't you? I mean, obviously you can as far as the president's concerned, federal. But I mean, overall, it should just be open elections across the board, man.
Yeah.
And, I think keeping the electoral college in place is important, which obviously you're hearing talk of abolishing that, of course. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of restructuring that needs, but I think that skin in the game is one of the most important, man.
Yep. Basically, just an understanding of what this nation is. You even just fucking good enough an understanding of fucking what your rights are. Is vitally important shit. You know, that's why I say like something like a fucking like you got to go down and you got to take a test, and just also too, just the act of actually going down, you know, taking a test, paying, you know, whatever fee it is to get your fucking voter ID or whatever, you know, doing whatever, you know, whatever you got to do and shit. That actually shows that you give two shits about going out and voting. You know, it's not just fucking like, you even just going in and getting a driver's license, literally registering to vote is checking a box. That's it. And fucking
Right.
even if you don't want to register to vote, they'll check the box for you. Like, dude, like it's that fucking easy to register somebody to vote. Like like that's ridiculous. That they don't fucking give a shit, you know? Like you need to give a shit in order to fucking vote, in my opinion. You know, that's why I say like even if you fucking give a shit about the wrong shit, you know, like fuck it. If you're a full on fucking commie, John Bay, I don't care. You could still fucking vote. You know, but I think you should have some sort of a basic knowledge beforehand of, you know, what, you know, what America is, what our Constitution is, what your rights are, and why. Not only what, but why the Constitution is, and why you had those rights. You know.
Yeah, and the fact that they were fought and bled and died for, and that people gave up fucking fortunes and like hereditary fucking titles and whatnot to fucking give you it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course, the fact that Democrats love to repeat the word democracy doesn't make it one, and that it's a republic, and what that actually means, the structure, and the reason that there's an electoral college and different branches, checks and balances, yada yada.
Right. And I think
Definitely
really
important.
a lot of this could fucking start. You know, it could come from abolishing the fucking Department of Education. You know. Those motherfuckers are keeping you guys stupid, keeping all of us stupid, dude. Like, really, all of this stuff should be fucking basic knowledge. It's like basic, you know, like this should be elementary school type shit. But it's not. It's not even fucking high school shit. It's fucking basically like elective. I don't know, at least
Yeah,
it's not, but at least
it-
it seems like, you know.
yeah. I don't think the federal government should have anything to do with education one fucking bit. I think it was George W. dude that rolled out the No Child Left Behind trash, and all that did was fucking lower standards, lowered expectations,
Yeah.
and that's racism in itself. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, because you see what it's rolled into. All that No Child Left Behind just rolled into the current fucking paradigm. That's we you have to lower fucking standards as far as test scores for acceptance into colleges and all this based off of fucking skin color and yeah.
Do you think I don't know what do you think that we should have any sort of actual curriculum, like even down to like reading, writing, and math? Do you think that should be required, like core curriculum, or do you think we should do away with core curriculum in general and basically just whatever the school teaches is what you learn, you know? And basically, just parents have to research their schools and pick a good one. Otherwise,
I think incorporating those core curriculum with shit that brings out creativity and out of the box thinking is important, dude. I think you've seen a decline also in education, and they started cutting out like home ec and art programs and like shop classes, all that kind of shit.
yeah.
That's important, and that's one of the reasons you're seeing a labor shortage now, is because men weren't being taught to be men in school unless their dad was teaching them. You know what I mean?
But another thing that we don't really seem to have anymore is fucking experts. You know, we don't have prodigies anymore. We don't have people that have been fucking, like literally fucking, they've been playing the piano since they were 7 years old, and that's literally the only thing that they've ever fucking learned. But they are the greatest that has ever lived. You know, like they don't need to learn anything else, you know? Like, or like fucking people that are, like lifelong fucking, I don't know, we don't fucking really have people that are really like lifelong experts in anything, you know what I mean? Like I say,
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff that we do learn in school, like math and that type of shit, it's important, but a lot of it really like I say, it could, you know, it depends. Like I say, if you really want to specialize in shit like that, I think that should be okay too.
Yeah, I think that, like I said, you need a core curriculum as far as you need to learn how to write fucking basic subtraction and addition and, yada yada, man. You know what I'm saying? Civics, history, you need that shit. You really do, man. I mean, that's really the basis for a cohesive society. You know what I mean? A set of common fucking beliefs and morals. And then, other than that, though, I think education should be formed more around bringing out what's in that child that's gonna pay off for them in the future, rather than fucking a cookie cutter. We're gonna get you ready for fucking jobs that don't exist anymore, or jobs that you're not gonna excel at, or you're gonna be bored with, and then it should be careened into other areas. You know what I mean? Like you have areas of further education, high school and whatnot, in computers, robotics, and fucking whatever the case that's gonna suit that child. It's tailored kind of to that. You know what I mean? Obviously, it can't be tailored individually. There has to be some sort of groupthink there to make it functionable. Without fucking 10 teachers per classroom. But there's ways to do that, to bring out more creativity, to bring out those things. And I think a reason that we don't see prodigies and shit anymore is because fucking phones, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Phones, computers, tablets. That's all you see kids rolling with. Like you could go outside on a lot of days. Well, here it's hot as fuck, but even like when it's a nice day outside, and you're going to see mostly middle-aged and older people outside. Like
Yeah.
you don't even fucking see kids and shit, bro. Like it's just video games and phones, man.
You think we're just gonna fucking? I don't know. Do you think it's pretty kind of it's pretty weird to think about because I don't know if you were to go back like fucking 200 years or some shit like that, or like if you were to go back to the days when they were fucking dreaming up the Constitution and shit like that, and tell them like, dude, in a couple hundred years, we're just gonna create machines that's gonna think for us, and people are just gonna be dumb, and just literally we're only gonna live for fucking pleasures and fucking instant gratification. Like, do you think
Yeah.
do you think they just look at you like this dude is fucking insane? Like you're gonna create a machine that thinks for you. Like
Yeah,
you're fucking
it's going to
insane.
be called an algorithm,
Right.
and it's going to provide fucking tailored content to us to keep us zombified. And yeah,
Right.
yeah, dude, I think they would think we're nuts, man, for sure. I mean, Tesla kind of said something like this. He didn't say it was going to distract you or what have you, but he was talking about just the concept of a cell phone, basically, and they thought he was fucking mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fucking nuts, man. Well, yeah, anything you want to throw on, man? We've been going about an hour and 40 minutes now.
I'm straight, man. I'm stuck here. It's
Yeah.
damn dark, dude. No AC. It's gonna get hot in this bitch in a minute.
Right. Yeah. Shit, that fucking blows, man. Well, but I appreciate you fucking toughing it out through the show.
Yeah, of course, man. Fuck, dude. Bro. Fucking always damn good show. Always enjoy the combos and shit. Hope everybody else does, man. Fucking hopefully we can get some more fucking views and shit, especially when the lights are on. And dude, rack it up, make this a regular gig, and even if I'm not always the guest, dude, guest spots, whatever, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking so yeah, you guys make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys aren't already subscribed, and make sure you guys are back here next Friday, 10 p.m. Arizona time. We will definitely be going live. We're going to be talking about what else happened throughout this next coming up week. But we appreciate you guys stopping by. Fuck off.
Smile